PLO on Full Tilt Poker, and we're continuing our session. Here we are on the button, not a pretty strong hand, we're double suited, but we're coming with a raise, because it's good to use these things for raises. You develop a reputation for being a little bit aggressive, so you prepave for getting paid when you do actually hit the hand. Now he checked the flop here. If he checks one more time, it seems like we're winning. So he did check it, and we're going to bet it. We're going to bet it with kings up. Yeah. Generally, when somebody checks twice, it's there's another cutoff situation. We can come in with a raise. Generally, when somebody checks twice, that represents a weakness, and often you can capitalize on that. We check this. We have a draw to a straight. We hit it. We can check. We bet a little bit. Bring him in with two pairs and stuff, probably or a set, and check it out, and probably check and win right now. It seems like. Oh, he had the king flush. Wow, he didn't get much out of that. So we didn't lose much out of it, but he played his hand quite weakly. There we are. So we know this guy does that. Now this is an interesting one. Eights double suited under the gun. Don't rate this hand very much under the gun. So get out of this, because this could lead you into trouble. These hands with low pairs and medium pairs double suited, not really close to each other, they look pretty deceptive, and they look better than they are. So what you need to do with Omaha, basically, and any poker game actually, but Omaha especially, you need to see a step ahead of you and see where this hand is going. What kind of flop are you going to be hitting with it? And can it be used? Can you actually use it to make money out of it? Or will it be good enough just to check it out? So if it's going to be just good enough to check it out, excuse me, I'm going to raise this. There's weakness on the button, and we got the ace king jack, ace jack suited, and because he showed weakness and we raised it, we hit the top pair too, we're betting this. Now this kind of aggression is very. Now here I still feel we may be winning this. So I can bet this, but I'm going to chicken out and check it, see what happens. But he'll check with a draw. Okay, he's probably got something like 8, 9, 10, or a jack with 8, 9. All right, let's see. Yeah, he had 8, 10. He made a backdoor flush and checked it. Wow. So we were right in our assessment that he was drawing weakly, and he was, and we were winning with our jack. So the money went in while we were winning, and we got out when we went behind. Can't get better than that. But all this information comes from the source, the point that you begin the hand. Here, I could have raised this actually. That was slide. Oh, now that he raised it, I'm not sure if I can call it. You see, there's a difference between calling raises and raising yourself. I'm going to let this go. Now this is a different one, because first of all we're on the button double suited, and also we have good supporting cards around the 10, straightening, so clearly a raise. And top pair, 2 players, not sure about betting this one, so we check it. And we give it up. Not a very good hand on the big blind here, but it could turn out good if everybody passes and we're dealing with one person. Okay, just call under my left for stupid. Not showing too much strength. Okay, we check it out. Hope for a good flop. 3, 5, 8. Now here we don't have much, but I don't mind having a dab at this one. Since the player on my left showed a touch of weakness, I may be able to pick this up right now. And if I get a caller, I can always fluke it if I hit a deuce. So you see, I can win it right now, or I have a chance of fluking it. So these are the things that you need to have on your side. You know, if this doesn't work, there's something like a backer behind it. There you go. There's hand on the button. Clear raise, clear raise, clear re-raise. There we go. This is a very good time to re-raise. We're capitalizing on the strength of our hand. Hopefully he'll re-raise us back, then we'll have no headaches. He's thinking. He probably just had one ace and read us for 2 aces. That's probably a good play down if he had 1 ace. Another one. Now, had he passed here, I like to come in with a raise here, but because we've got a caller, this changes it a little bit, and I prefer to call it right now and protect my hand and see the flop. I have position, I have a pretty decent hand, I don't want to spoil it. Two checks, I can't bet this, in fact I will. Take it away from them. Pair flops are good ones to bluff anyway, but it looks like I'm winning with 2-10. Alright, this is not much of a hand, double suited, you know, away from each other, do 6, 10 jack, not good. This is on the borderline actually, this hand. It looks pretty good, but under the gun, players behind. I don't like it too much, but I'm going to call it and see what happens. Now that I call this, I'm going to have to call it. This is why I didn't like it, because I can call this raise and the guy behind me could re-raise and make my hand even worse. So that's exactly the reason why I didn't like it in the first place. But here we are now. And plus, you find yourself exactly in this position where you're out of position to a raiser and you're at his mercy. He can bluff you with nothing, and you can be passing the best hand. And it's just, you don't have many things going for you, basically. So if I pass this hand pre-flop, I wouldn't have been doing much wrong. There you go. 3 aces. Wow, 3 aces with a flush draw. Pretty big hand. Out of position, not much of a hand, but we got the ace high, ace king. Just call in the small blind and hope for a big flop, which is not this one. On the button with a pair, not a great hand, but we got position. There's been no raise. We can see the flop. Who knows? We may hit 4 fours. Okay. We actually hit many fours. Okay, everybody check. I can use this as a bluffing situation. In fact, I might do that. It seems a little bit silly, but it doesn't. I feel these are the best ones. Right. He checked twice. I'm gonna bet half the pot to represent. I have 4 eights. Oops. This has gone wrong, so I'm gonna give up on this and congratulate my friend. Yeah, he did well to stay in there, you see. because with all those players, the queens are not really good enough hands to call with. But now we know something about this player. So everything that you're doing in the game does not go to waste if you try to dig whatever comes out of it. You may lose it, but you found out that this guy, Kind, plays 79. He's prepared to call with overpair Omaha when there's a paired flop, and also call again. But that's okay, that's fine. We can use that for when we get real hands against him. This is a cut-off raise, and we're on the big blind. We can take him on. The hand isn't all that great, but we take him on. Take him on. We can check raise him here with no hand, since he's only, it looks like it may be just a continuation bet. Well, so we can raise him. And often we take it away from him here and now. But this is the last move we're going to be making in this pot, since it's the best opportunity at this very point. Always thinking, there you go. That was a successful bluff. So you see these aggressions that we are using, the calculated ones in the right position at the right time. Now we can raise with this. The button is a weak caller, so we get rid of the big blind and heads up with this hand against the weak hand. Right, that's exactly how it worked out. And because he's weak, we're betting. Although we got the bottom two pairs as well, which is most likely to be winning. But we would have been betting on many flops there, since we detected weakness pre-flop. We're going to call it. We got two callers, we'll call it. It's a good position, good situation, let's not spoil it. Therefore, five of us in there, too many players to do anything, especially if the first player comes out betting. Clearly not a good stitch. Out we go. Now we've been raising on the cutoff quite a lot, and we could do it again, but we choose not to do it with this hand since it's a weak one, and so they see that you're not doing it every single time. You want them you want your opponents to be guessing, not being sure. If you raise every time on the button, they know you're raising every time on the button, then they can't be guessing. Then they know you're random. I started playing when I was actually 15, 16. It's like a couple of weeks ago. But when I learned the game, it was a draw game that I learned at the beginning, and I just loved it. I never loved anything as much as I loved poker, and still do. And the game has just stuck to me, never left me, and I have no intention of slowing down. I love the game. I love every aspect of it. Now I'm in the business of teaching as well, and my son is going to be a prime example of my teaching power. So it's all getting better and better. Let's see. We checked here, so we're betting this one with our two pairs. We're just betting to take it away because we know we're going to take it away right now. Yeah, I started playing when I was young. I was in Iran then when I was 15. I went to London when I was 17. And we carried on playing at college every night. In fact, we played more poker than college work. And then stud games came in, and in mid-80s in London, Omaha came on the scene. And then a few years later, Hold'em came on the scene. And then Hold'em disappeared, and Omaha became the prominent game around Europe. And so I played a lot of that. Always with love, always with enthusiasm, and it's just a game that you learn all the time, never stop learning, and the depth of it is absolutely incredible. So I'm still thoroughly enjoying everything about it. No, we're betting this one. We have a straight draw and a flush draw. So we're betting this and see what happens. Mm-hmm. 7, 8, 8, 9 in the small blind. You're out of position. When you're out of position in Omaha, you need to play your hands more slowly, even with aces, unless your opponent has the right amount of money. You know, like we had an example earlier where there was a raise and we had aces on the small blind. All right, here we have 2 players, 2 diamonds. I like that. I like to check this. You see, if I bet this and I get a caller, I don't have many fluking chances out of it. I like to have that with me, you know, and plus I can get a raise from a drawing hand, and I could be laying I put more money in, get a raise from drawing hand, and lay the best hand down. So, you know, because of that possibility ahead of you, you avoid that by not betting here. Yeah, it was a pretty good session. Not much in it. I'm not sure how I got on actually, you know, which is a good thing, because when you're not concerned about winning and losing, that's when you're playing at your best. And I often find myself at that point. But you know, the session was pretty good. There wasn't a real threat around the table. Nobody really made it difficult for me, and everything seemed okay. And I was pretty pleased with the way everything went. You know, we certainly didn't crack up at any point of chasing or anything, so it was pretty good.